Hey guys, a few days ago I was at the pool when somebody approached me and asked me to take a photo of them in the pool. At the time, I did not know they were celebrities, and they are like the nicest people I met. I started talking with them, heard their story, and today I want them to tell you their story. I'm sitting here with Doug the Barber and his lovely wife Tina, who's going to share their story with you.
My chances along with my dreams.
Our conversation started out on RVing because Doug and Tina are very new to RVing. I think like a week or 10 days.
Yeah, we're not even 2 weeks into
Not
it.
even 2 weeks in.
Uh-huh.
So I was sharing that we are like 3 years in, and then we talked about RVs, and I found out that they live in the RV capital of America.
Yes.
So they recently got their RV, Forest River, and we have a Forest River. So that's where the conversation started. But Doug shared his incredible story of his career, and he just retired, and that's what brought him to the RV.
Tina and I are from Elkhart, Indiana, the RV capital of the world, and this is our fifth motorhome, the Forest River. I used to cut Pete Legal's hair that owned the company, and he gave us such a great deal. That's why we have this RV, and that was our plan 34 years ago. I opened up Doug's Sports Cut October 23rd, 1989. It's a barbershop baseball card store. 8 months after I opened it, Sports Illustrated did a story on it because I had Gail Sayers signing autographs at my shop, famous football player from the Chicago Bears.
For like a grand opening.
Yeah.
Type
so
thing.
he came and signed autographs, and they did a story on my shop. As soon as they did the story, my shop exploded nationwide because Sports Illustrated is nationwide. Well, here is a toll road, 8090 toll road that is on the northern part of Indiana. Little did I know Goshen, Elkhart, Indiana is like 10 miles south of that. Because we are so close to the toll road, people from all over the U.S. came to our shop. Wow. And I've got a book that all these people came and signed in where they came from. It's just been a remarkable, incredible journey for 50 years of cutting hair. And it all started October 23rd, really, 1989. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride. And we had, that was 34 years ago, and Tina and I's dream was to retire and travel in an RV to see the U.S. And we wanted to do that, and we've had this plan, and so all we had to do was fulfill the 34 years, and we did it. And my cup shows, I don't know if you can see it, but it's Doug's Sports Cut. I started cutting hair June 22nd, 1974, and my last day was October 6, 2023. And we had a party. Tina really was responsible for the party. We had a tent that we had 1,000 to 2,000 people come through.
Wow.
And say goodbye to Doug the Barber. Doug, here's my Doug the Barber
Doug
shirt.
the Barber.
Yeah. Yeah, this Doug the Barber thing, that was born when Sarah Palin was running for vice president with McCain Palin.
Yeah.
And so we're not political at all. And Tina and I go to this rally, and I had a Doug the Barber t-shirt made. I said, Tina, you want me to get you a Tina, the respiratory therapist? Nah, I don't want that. Well, we go to there, and wouldn't you know it, Sarah Palin, she goes, yeah, and tonight we have Doug the Barber here, would you like to stand? And so in front of, 10, 12,000 people, I stand, and it shows Doug the Barber. Well, long story short, there's a guy that's writing a book on Doug the Barber. And the front cover of the book is going to be Tina and I at this rally where she has Doug the Barber stand. And then the back page of the book is Pete Legal selling us this RV where Tina and I are standing in front of the Forest River Forester. And so that's a brief glimpse, but there's a whole bunch more.
A lot in between, but that's a great story. You have an amazing
Yes.
story. Can you elaborate a little bit more onto your farewell party? Because I saw your news clip.
Yeah.
After 50 years and lots of hairstyles, a beloved barber in Goshen is closing up shop.
Doug's Sports Cuts is shutting its doors tonight, and the barber himself is retiring after 50 years.
ABC 57's Annie Kate was there for his final cut today. She's now live at his retirement party. Annie?
Yeah, Brian, Jennifer, you should have seen the crowd out here outside of Doug's Sports Cuts earlier today. It felt like all of Goshen came out to celebrate this man's retirement. He is right there, man of the hour. That is Doug the Barber. He's greeting all the people that came by to wish him well on his retirement. After 50 years, he's finally hanging up his clippers. Now, his wife tells me he's worked something like 2,500 Saturdays. Well, tomorrow when he wakes up, he's going to be a free man.
I'm sure our county has never seen a party like it, because we didn't know. I cut hair 60 hours a week, and I did that for 34 years. So at 60 hours a week, I figured that I cut, like 1,000 a month. And so I'm like, my God, how many people are coming?
And I didn't believe him as his wife. I'm like, 1,000 people. What are you talking about?
And then they're not going to come just themselves. They're going to come with their wife and their kids.
Yeah.
So long story short, we had this farewell party. Oh my gosh, the biggest part of one of the biggest, my very first haircut was June 22nd, 1974, Jim Hartzell. I was 20, he was 30. He was my very last haircut, October 6th, at 1:45 in the afternoon. 50 years later, he was 80, and I was 3 days shy of being 70. So for that to work out, we had to live in the same community. He had to stay as a customer, and neither one of us could die. I mean, I had to live to 70, he had to live to 80.
Right.
So he was my very first haircut, and he was my very last, which is just an incredible story in its own.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by
We
that.
had, I had a tent rented, tables and chairs. We had food catered in, drinks and food, and
We had the RV there.
This was his idea. He says, "Let me bring the RV there," and I said, "Doug, everybody's going to want to go through it."
Oh yeah.
We don't have time for that. He goes, nope, I promise. Just let me set it up. And it was a great idea because everybody loved that part of it. But it went on for hours. It was from 2 to 6 p.m. It was the weather said it was going to come rain that evening, and we were like praying for it to hold out, and it did. And there was a line for like a funeral procession almost. The line just kept endless, kept going and going and going, and I just was like, this is my husband. Like, I'm in awe of him. Like, we in the video clip of the news channel, it really truly they interviewed me, and it's really they say we are like, they are our family, and he is their family. And they will do anything for us, and we would do anything for them. I have never once in my 40 years with Doug, he's never once complained of getting up in the morning and having to go to work. He loved what he did. He loved his customers. They loved him. And it was just, the comments we had after the fact were off the charts. Like, they said, we've never seen anything like that turnout that came out for you, Doug. It was absolutely wonderful.
You about had a cow when we're driving down here to Savannah, Georgia, and everybody kept calling, Doug, where you at? Doug, how you doing? Doug and Tina. Everything is Doug and Tina, which is, nobody links their wife to the husband, but because it's such a unique relationship, it's the gifts. We have cards in there to Doug and Tina, not to Doug, not just to Doug, but which is so cool because it just, There's nothing better than love.
Yes, and after
I
the party, you know, we waited a couple days and things settled down, and then it was just him and I, and we opened up the cards, and for almost an hour straight, he was weeping. It was so emotional. The words, they were so heartfelt, and we were just in awe of what they thought of him. He inspired a lot of people. It wasn't just a haircut.
No.
There was a mother that came up to me that day, and she was crying, and she goes, "You will never know what Doug has done for my son. He was struggling. He was suicidal. And he looked forward to coming to talk to Doug because Doug would inspire him and lift him out of that dark place, and it just stuff like that. I never really knew how he impacted people. Yeah, wow. It was amazing, and I can't like. There's another story. He was cutting this little guy's hair, and he's finally going off to college. And Doug calls me one day, and he goes, Tina, he goes, this is going to be hard, because he said, I can't remember his name, but he said he latched onto me and hugged me so tight, and he would not let go. And he goes, I'm going off to college. He goes, I'll probably never see you again. He goes, you'll never know how you impacted my life and the direction of my life. And he said, for that, I'll be forever grateful. And so just hearing stuff like that, I don't know that you hear that very much in a workplace. And that was very inspiring. So
it was an incredible 50 years of cutting hair to share it. It wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to cut Ralph's hair, but I couldn't wait to talk to Ralph. Ralph was so awesome, and everybody has a story. And when they would get in my chair, I'd get so many compliments, because you know the picture I showed you of my shop, you wait in the dugout to get your hair cut. My chair's set at home plate, so that guy in my chair was the most important person in the world. And I didn't talk to the people in the dugout, and they would praise me for not talking to them. I would greet them, but whoever was in my chair,
it was their moment.
Yeah.
You made them special. And they appreciated you for that. I mean, those stories, those are incredible stories.
It is. It was such a run. It was just so beautiful.
And it was also a place where people could come together. Like, he had couples, and I don't mean this the way I say it, but like, he had twin brothers. They would come back to back so that they would be able to see each other that day and catch up. He had best friends coming, and they had to have back-to-back haircuts so that they could sit in the dugout.
They became friends because one would be at 7:30, 7:45, and 8, and these people,
would just sit there and just commit, like talk and talk and talk while Doug cut hair for hours. They would just sit there like, I don't know, the old time.
It was a gathering place.
Mayberry, Andy Griffith, Floyd barbershop type place. It was a gathering place, and they would talk sports, and they would talk politics, and they would talk religion, and everybody. Nobody really got offended. You know how people can get really offended these days. It was a spirited conversation, and people could tell their point of views without getting mad. So that was really neat too.
That's what attracted them as well.
It was a fun run.
That's amazing. You have such a good story, Doug. And I think your going away gift is a testament of what a good barber you were, because I was amazed as a travel person and a journaler to see this gift. So would you share this with us?
So I told my customers that we were retiring. We were going to buy a Forest River Forester motorhome. And I said, Tina and I have been on 22 cruises, but we've never seen America. I said, where should I go? So Tina numbered all these 1 through 250 circles, little circles. And then, honey, is that magazine right there, or the book? So I had my customers start from number 1 to 2. I think it's up to 243 or something like that. But they would write they'd put the sticker on the map, then they would write a paragraph or two about each destination and why I should go to it, in the highlights of eating and whatever was going on. And this one guy is so good, John Place. He was so, he didn't want to leave anything out. So he took 65, 3, 69, 66, 7, 8, 2. So 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In Zion, Antelope Canyon, Monument Valley, Olympic Peninsula, Yosemite Valley, Sequoia National Park, Crater Lake, Banff. He just couldn't say one, so he goes and typewrites it. It was so just amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's another one of his ideas. He just pulls them out, and the original map was 2x2 ish. And he's like, oh no, Tina, that's too small.
Yeah.
So we got the bigger one, and that's how that came about.
And so we're going to travel and see these circles. And so when Tina and I leave Indiana, come here, hon.
Yeah.
So we're from Elkhart, the RV capital of the world. We leave
north.
there, and we want to go to Savannah, Georgia. So Savannah, Georgia's down here. Well, we start heading in, where's the Biltmore Mansion? North Carolina.
Nashville.
Oh my gosh. We're driving along and Tina goes, Doug, Biltmore Mansion. It says we're 6 miles away. We go there on, we'll just say Tuesday night for 2 or 3 hours. We bought a ticket. It was during the week, it's only 100 instead of 120 each. So we buy a ticket, we go there, and then you get to use the same ticket the next day. Oh my gosh. You've got to go. It's
I agree.
Oh my God. Have you guys been there?
We did. The first year that we traveled across the country on the way back, we stopped there, and I agree with you.
1895 he did that. To think that guy was that smart.
I know. It's
Just
incredible.
And so that's just one circle.
Wow. So you check that one off your list.
Yeah.
Yes. It's unbelievable. And so this is our journey. We're going to take this journey, and we're going to these places, and people say, oh, you don't have any in Hawaii. I said, well, my motorhome doesn't drive through water. So yeah, we're going to Hawaii. But probably I can't wait to go to Alaska. Have you guys been to Alaska?
We went last year, not with our RV. We went on a cruise.
Did ya?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's so strange, because talking to my customers, you could have 12 customers tell me 12 different ways to see Alaska. And all of them are right. It's just amazing. It's the only place I don't really know how to go, because you can't lose no matter how you go.
We originally planned when we bought the RV, but we bought it the year of COVID, and the borders to Canada were closed. We were going to Banff Park.
Yeah.
That was one of the main
Yes, I want to go
things
there.
we wanted. And when we got up to like Washington, Montana, the borders were still closed. So we could not get to Alaska with the RV. And when we came back to to Florida, we decided it was too far to trek back. So we ended up taking a cruise last year to Alaska. I wouldn't mind RVing though.
Yeah.
In Alaska.
They showed the roads. I'm half in, half out. That they're a lot better. But when you drive up there, every 2 miles, you can pull over and sleep. I mean, every 2 miles up there on the roadway there. The customer said, Doug, how many of these circles do you guys intend on going to? Every
250.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do. I mean, when you go out west, our daughter lives in Minnesota. And so we wanted to go there first, but she came to our farewell party, so we didn't have to go there first.
Because she came to you.
Yeah. So then we had to stick around a week to go to a wedding in Indianapolis, and we end up getting out of there, and we've been retired now for almost 2 weeks, and almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have the RV fever though.
This is the first for us. We've never left months at a time. When we've had RVs in the past, we've gone for a week here, a week there. They said that RV life for children is one of the best things you can do for them growing up because of life experiences and stuff. So we heard about that, and we decided to capitalize on that. And so throughout their growing up years, you know, we would take them to Florida or take them here or take them there, but it was just a week here, a week there. It wasn't anything like what we're about to experience now. Like this is a big deal, and his folks are still alive. My mom's still alive. They're back home in Indiana. Our kids are kind of scattered. So everything's a first for us. I knew this, I knew that, trial and error. You guys have been in it for 3 years. You might have it down pat. But yeah, so we're just figuring it out slowly but surely, but we're having fun along the way.
Well, travel is amazing. Every day is fresh. You always have fresh conversation.
Yes.
You get to meet wonderful people like you guys.
Absolutely. That's the coolest thing of it all.
Yeah.
It really is.
And we love animals, so a highlight, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, we stopped on the interstate so she could take pictures of eagles in the air and landing.
I think that those are bald eagles. And he goes, get out. And I go, no.
So we stopped on the interstate.
We just pulled off, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea. But they were so up close, and I filmed them for like maybe 20 minutes. It was the most
She can show you when we're done here. It's
thing,
amazing.
You know, to just witness. I mean, we've seen them before, but not that close.
So then we're here at Creek Fire. Creek Fire, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're here, and what do we see? A 3-legged alligator. Who has ever seen a 3-legged alligator? So we sit down at the table tonight, and Cheryl shows us pictures of
some
goats running through the RV park this morning. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get up earlier tomorrow. So you're still a star, Jim. So this is Cheryl and Charles. So I'm gonna turn it over to them.
Okay.
They know you were my first haircut and my last.
Okay.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's nice to meet you by phone.
I know.
What an incredible story.
Yes, it was quite an honor. I never realized it was going to turn out that way, but it did, you know.
Yes, amazing. When Doug started sharing his story, we were fascinated. The first and last haircut.
Right.
That is awesome. Very special. So let me ask you a question, Jim.
Sure.
Who's going to cut your hair now?
Well, I found a local barber in my hometown now. I went to him once, and it wasn't the saloon, it was going to Doug.
I bet.
I've got to get him straightened out so I can get a haircut like Doug.
Good idea. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for asking me.
You take care, and good luck with your new barber.
All right, thank you.
Bye. Bye, Jim. Doug, you have an amazing story, and one of the more amazing parts of this story is something you shared with me, which sounds like it should be in the World Book of Guinness Records.
It is.
What was your largest tip that you received in your 50 years?
One day I was cutting hair, and I have a very, very, very rich guy that comes in, and he likes me, like all my customers like me, and he gets done with the haircut, and he pulls out of his jacket an envelope, first time ever. He said, Doug, here. He said, open it up when no one's around. So God's blessed me with an unbelievable business. So I'm cutting hair for hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Finally, it's lunchtime, and I have maybe 20 minutes. I open the envelope, and it says, thank you for positively affecting all of your customers in a positive way, something along that line. God has blessed you, and because of that, enjoy a vacation on us, from him and his wife. And I opened it up, and it was a check for $30,000. I've never known anybody to get a tip for more than $1,500. $30,000.
I think that's a record.
It was unbelievable. I called Tina, and this is a really, really cool part. I called Tina, and I said, Tina, I said, you know so-and-so? I said, she goes, yeah. I said, he just gave me this card that said da-da-da, da-da-da, and inside there was a check. And I can't spit it out. I'm tearing up. I'm choked up.
Yeah, he's
and
crying, and he cannot get the words out, and
Okay,
I panic a little, like,
No.
what's going on?
Do you know what you said to me? You said, Doug, are you sure you're counting the zeros right? She thought it was like 300 or 3,000. I said, no, I counted the zeros right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because she was, I mean, we
were both just taken aback.
and he knows that we're
speechless.
so thankful. And so that's why her and I are going to take kind of a cruise around the world.
You should.
We
You
did it.
have to earn
We checked into a 38-day cruise, and it's like 16 or 18,000 on Canard. And we thought that we would do that because we've never been on a cruise. We've been on 22, but only a week at a time.
Right.
And here we're going for 38 days.
That's
you know,
incredible.
can we enjoy that? So we want to try that, and then do a second cruise, the other half, because we want to see it all.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
And we're so thankful
Yes.
to this guy. And he
He's-
knows that him and his wife are.
They're so wonderful, down to earth, loving, just awesome people. Like, they're just very wonderful and kind-hearted and solid.
So are you guys.
Yeah, well,
and that's a reflection
thank
of
you.
your service to your customers.
Yeah, it's just-
that really says something
Yeah.
about Doug the Barber.
It was amazing.
Do you give this video a thumbs up? Woohoo! And subscribe? Yeah. Smash that subscribe button. Woo-hoo.